So the reason I've showed you those games there in the wet on the floor outside the shop is because I went straight over to CEX. What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the free trading game collection challenge, the series where I build a video game collection without spending any money on it. That's what that is behind me. The angle has changed. I'm moving my room around. That's why the videos have been a little bit inconsistent recently, but we should be back to normal now. The angle may change still, but the videos will continue. So in this series, I like to go out and buy video game related items generally, flip part of it on to make the money back. In some cases, make a profit. We do have a profit in the series right now. That's on screen for you together with the collection value, how much all of this stuff behind me. It's not everything that we have in the collection. Some of it is over that side as well, but that's how much everything is worth. It's based on CEX prices because we do most of our business in CEX, as we are going to do today. But we're going to hit up 3 places today. We're going to go to a charity shop. We're going to make some money there. We're going to go to Game. We're going to make some money there. Then we're going to go to CEX and we're going to pick up our games. That's generally how it works. I do have a cash profit in this series, as I mentioned. I think it's over £400. I do want to add to that a little bit more, and I do want to start using that a little bit more for things. But for right now, it's just there to use whenever we want, on however we want. And of course, anything I use that money for, it's free because it's profit in the series. Anyway, today, let's go make some money. Like I said, we don't need to do this because we do have a cash profit, but I want to make my money before I go out today. I want to know that we are safe in the knowledge that this is going to be a free day. So I head into a charity shop. So this isn't something that will happen all the time. You can't just walk into a charity shop and know when you're going to find something. It's just not the way it works. You can go in 10 charity shops one after another and not find anything. And I do regularly. On this occasion, I found something, but it wasn't video game related, but I've decided to throw it in here anyway. We don't, like I said, we don't need to make money in this series today because we already have a cash profit. I could go into Game and spend £30 and just take it out of the cash profit. It's not a problem. But I am going to make it back, and I'm going to show you something else that I sort of dabble in, if you will. And I've done a series on this before, and I kind of gave up on it. But football shirts sell for a lot of money. And it depends which ones you get, obviously. But in this instance, I found an Italian football shirt from the very early 2000s that I knew straight away that it was going to be worth money. I had a Welsh top in my personal collection that was from the same era, made by Kappa. And I knew instantly, as soon as I saw it, that it was genuine, and then I knew that it would sell for money because the shirts from that era tend to sell for money, and you can spot a fake a mile away from that era because they weren't very good. Now, this isn't going to turn into me just rambling about football shirts. My point is, if you know a lot about trainers, you know a lot about football shirts, you know a lot about Wedgwood, it doesn't make a difference what you know a lot about. If you go into a charity shop or a car boot sale or whatever, and you know a lot about one specific thing, but you like collecting video games, you don't have to buy and sell video games to buy video games. You can go and buy and sell trainers if you want. So long as you're making the profit off that thing, or multiple of things, you can then use that money to buy video games and put them in your collection, make it free that way. So on this occasion, we are going to use this football shirt to pay for today's outing. Like I said, in this series, I do like to keep it to video games because it's all relevant to each other. But you can go in and find something that you know a lot about, flip it on, make a profit, and then use that money to buy whatever you want. In this instance, video games. I won't dwell on this too much because I know a lot of you won't care, but I just want to show you, look, I do have it, I did buy it, and this is what we do here. So the neck is, I mean, the light is terrible, but the neck is a little bit worn. That's to be expected with this, and there it is. The Italian football shirt from the very early 2000s. This was marked up, and do I still have the tag on it? I think I do. Yeah, there it is. So the tag is still attached because I wanted to make sure that you could see it. £7.50. I'm pretty sure you can see that there, hopefully. We're going to make money on that. Now, I'm going to say £30 in profit. I'm just going to be super conservative. If we set it for 45, we take the money out that we spent, we take the fees out, we're going to make more than 30, but we'll just say a flat £30 profit on this shirt. We have £30, thanks to this bad boy, to go and spend in Game. Now, the whole premise of me going around Game here isn't to buy things to put into the collection. They have a 3 for 2. I'm in Cardiff. I'm in the House of Fraser store because they're tucked I think right at the top of House of Fraser, right at the back left, they are just tucked in the corner. It's quite a big store, actually, this game, considering it is within another store. Luckily, it's a department store. I think they're closing down, though, so we'll only have one in Cardiff, and that's going to be in Sports Direct. I still haven't been in there, incidentally, but I probably will have to in the future, because this one I think is going to go. But my whole point is, I'm in this game not to buy video games to keep for the collection, although that does kind of happen here. I'm here to look for 3 for 2 that trade in for as much as I can buy them for. For example, I'm looking around and they have a pretty big selection of PS4, pretty big selection of Xbox One. They've got a couple of Switch games, nothing really too amazing. But if I can find 3 games for $9.99 that trade in to CEX for £10 each, then I can buy them for £20 in game, because they're 3 for 2. You buy 3, you only pay for the 2, you get the third one for free. That's just the way 3 for 2 works, obviously. That means I'm spending £20, rounding up. If I can trade them in for 30, I can make that 20 stretch into 30. It is quite literally that simple. So I knew I had £30 to spend. I had £30 profit that I was going to use. I wanted to spend 30 quid or as close to that as possible. So this process isn't just a case of going in, scanning 4 games and you're done. I mean, it can be if you're really lucky. And if you know the value of every single game, you're laughing. However, this can take a long time. And I was there for a good 45 minutes going through all of the games. I say I was there for 45 minutes. To be fair, 20 minutes of it was them trying to find one specific disc. What a pain in the ass. It was, I think this was New Year's Eve, and they took 20 minutes to find one disc. Normally, I'd be like, oh, do you want me to find something else? But it took me, 20, 25 minutes to find those games. I wasn't about to say, oh, do you want me to find something else? Because I would have been there for God knows how long. Because I'd gone through nearly everything. And I've done this before, and I managed to find things quite quickly and things that were pretty profitable. But on this occasion, unfortunately, there wasn't really an awful lot there. But I did manage to find 6 games that all trade into CEX for the exact same or more than I bought them for. So those video games were Box VR, Rabbids Invasion, this Switch game here, which we'll talk about in a second, Yooka-Laylee, Hotel Transylvania 3, and Down the Rabbit Hole, which is the game that they took ages to find. So the reason I've showed you those games there in the wet on the floor outside the shop is because I went straight over to CEX, having taken all of the sticky stuff off these things. They seal up the games so that you can't tamper with them, and then when you take them back, if there's an issue, they know you've opened it, right? So I understand it from their point of view, but they use their own barcodes, so they stick stickers on the back, they put a 3 for 2 sticker on it, they put a price on it, and they put the sticker over to seal it up. So yeah, it can get a little bit frustrating when you've got to sit there and peel off 20 stickers before you can go and trade it in, but first world problems, right? So I traded in 5 of the 6. We spent £28, I got £34 in credit. Is that worth it? It is worth it because I get to keep a game out of that as well. So we're not only making, £6-ish, I guess. I get to keep a game, and it's a Switch game. It's Ministry of Broadcast. I knew absolutely nothing about this game, but it was a £10 Switch game. Had to make sure that it wasn't code only, because obviously Nintendo do that stupid code in box nonsense. And I know it's secondhand and they wouldn't do a code in box secondhand, but I was just like, a Switch game for £10 doesn't really make an awful lot of sense. I looked it up on CEX. They try and sell it for I think 15. I didn't look to see if it was like you could buy it new and how much it was new or anything, but I think you're in a reality TV show. It's kind of like I don't know, it's almost comedic in a way, I think. I don't really understand too much about it. I haven't played it yet because I've been playing another game instead. But I will eventually get round to this. I really like sitting down in the nights at the moment and just playing on the Switch. I have a new game that I will have to show you in an upcoming episode that I wouldn't say addicted to, but every time I go to put it down, I'm like, oh, just do one more in-game day. Let me know if you think you can guess what it is. I bet you can't. But yeah, really enjoying that, even though it's quite tedious at times. But this, for £10, it's pretty good. And because it's part of that 3 for 2, essentially this didn't cost us £10. You know, this was free because we had the profit already. I've gone and spent 28, so technically we're still £2 in profit. I won't add that to the series because of whatever. But spent £30. That was free money from the Italian shirt. We've got £34 in credit from all those games you just saw. We get to add that to the collection, and now I get to go to CEX and spend £34 on something else that I want. So we are in the capital of my country, Cardiff. The country's called Wales. So anyway, I'm in Cardiff. They've been absolutely decimated. I've mentioned this in the Let's Build a Movie collection, if you saw that. It was New Year's Eve, and they were absolutely trashed. The shelves were empty. People had just been buying everything.
Hello there.
Around Christmas, more or less anyway. So, yeah, slim pickings. There were a few games in there that I wanted. I was looking at the Mega Drive games in Behind the Glass. There were a couple of there that I could have picked up. But remember, we have £34. I didn't want to be spending more. The whole point of this episode was I went out, I managed to make profit. We've already done the game profit. We've got a game out of that as well, and we still have £34 to spend. I didn't want to be going overboard. So I wanted to stick to my budget. Unfortunately, we looked at the Mega Drive games. There wasn't really anything there that caught my eye, kind of. So I moved on. The PlayStation 5 and 4 sections, again, the shelves were just bare. There was hardly anything there that I really wanted. I was looking around. There were a few things quite cheap. There was a Yakuza on the PS5 for £10, which I kind of looked at and thought, well, we have the remastered collection on PlayStation 4. You know, there's plenty of Yakuza games we could pick up. They all look quite interesting. So I think I probably want to own the majority, if not all of those at some point. Thought about it, looked at other PlayStation 4 games as well. I think I'd pick up a South Park game at some point, but I didn't want to buy anything too cheap. Nothing that you could pick up in a spending a profit. You know, on this series, what we like to do sometimes, maybe once a week, is go out and, you know, just spend £15 on a couple of games. Just go out, go into a shop and buy some video games. No gimmicks or anything. Use the profit from the series. Spend £15, see what we can get for £15, and see what games we want to add to the collection there. So anything that's that cheap that I was looking at, I didn't really want to be picking up because I could get it in a spending the profit episode. So I wanted to buy something substantial that I would not normally go out and just spend £30-ish on in cash. So the Switch section is kind of where I went and kind of where I decided to spend the money here. And they didn't really have a lot, but they had one thing, and it's one thing that I've been looking for quite a while. Before we talk about that Ministry of Broadcast, by the way, trades in for 10. They sell it for 15. So if I decide that I don't want this in the future, I play it and I don't like it, it's not likely to happen, but I know my money is safe there. I mean, it's already free because we've made the money back from the Italian shirt, but I know I can trade that in for £10 if I want, and yeah, we get a nice little chunk of credit, and they were selling it for 10. Game is a really, really good place to go for doing this kind of thing. But also, if you just want to get 3 for 2, there are quite a few games in their 3 for 2 section, depending on which store that you're in, obviously, in the selection that they have. But their 3 for 2 section is very, very good. I am very upset, and I'll still be upset, that the individual game stores have nearly all gone, and now you have to find them in other stores because they don't have as big a selection. But definitely worth visiting if you're looking to pick up some video games for sure. So what game did I pick up? Well, this game that I'm going to show you right now is a Switch game. It's a substantial price. It has actually gone up since I bought it. It cost me 32. Has gone up to 35. So I wouldn't have been able to buy this had I gone today or yesterday. I made a video on the 1st of January, I think it was, saying that CEX had slashed their Xbox 360 prices. And they have. And their prices are still down. Every other platform that I can find, though, the prices are going up. A lot of the stuff has gone up. Switch in particular has seen a pretty big increase across the board. This game I'm about to show you has gone up by 3. Pokemon Sword that we picked up a week or two ago has gone up by £2 or £3 as well. And a few of the other games that I've been looking at have gone up, including Sifu on the PS5. That's gone up from 32 to 35 as well. Are we ever going to get that game? I don't know at this point. But anyway, the game that I bought was Yoshi's Crafted World. I really like Yoshi, and I really like these little spins on these Nintendo games. So we have the Woolly World on the Wii U, which I like. I don't think I'm going to like that as much as I like the Crafted World. I think I like the art style of this just a little bit more. Woolly World is fun, but playing the Switch right now is really, really enjoyable. So sticking this in and giving this a go is going to be I think a much more pleasant experience than sitting there on the Wii U. The gamepad on the Wii U, right? I like it, don't get me wrong. I think it's a very underrated system. It didn't sell well, of course. They didn't market it properly. I didn't know what it was for a long time. I honestly thought it was a Wii add-on. Just the gamepad, because they never show the console. And I'm getting off topic here, but yeah, that's one of the reasons why it flopped. But I do like sitting there and playing the Wii U. Obviously I do, because I like collecting for it. But there's something about the Switch, there's something about the cases, there's something about the cartridge, there's something about the experience of playing a game on the Switch, being able to dock it, being able to pick it up. I like it. I like all of it. And this Crafted World, I think, is going to be just a little bit more enjoyable for me. That was 32 at the time. It's now 35, and like I said, there are a lot of Switch games that have gone up in price. So we're adding 2 games to the collection today, 2 Switch games as well, which I'm really happy to do. Now that would cost me 45, then it would have cost me 42. But not only that, we wouldn't have been able to buy it with the profit that we had. So we managed to eke that out of game, and then we used the remainder of the profit to go and buy this, and all of it was paid for by that Italian shirt. We have gone out and spent £7.50 on an Italian shirt. We've managed to turn that into 2 Switch games for nothing out of pocket. Very, very happy to do that. Very happy to add them to the collection as well. So in the next few episodes, I go to a different game and try this again with mixed results. I also visit another CEX. I go to an independent game store that is over 2 hours away from my house. I also order a game brand new online that I'm hoping is going to arrive soon, and we pick up another few Facebook deals as well. There's going to be a lot to go through, and I think I may have a room tour at that point as well, because I have moved the whole thing around to incorporate the video game collection. We are not going to stop this until I walk in and I can't see a square inch of wall. So if you have enjoyed this episode of the free trading game collection challenge, do me a favour and hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, of course. And until the next time, goodbye.